So breath work, number 2 of the series of 3. And I'd love to hear, actually, I'm going to go to gallery view for just a minute. I would love to hear from anyone. What are you experiencing with your breathwork practice? Is there anything that's interesting or breakthroughs or anything you'd like to share around your breathwork experiences? Yeah, go ahead, Stacy.
It's been really intense for me, and like I serendipitously got this book or found this on a bookshelf at the house I'm at. But it's been really intense. But I think I'm finally on the, like, I've gotten some deep stuff out. I'm hoping I can enjoy it a little more soon.
Yeah, well, that's great. You know, it's all about excavating the stuff.
Mhm.
It is very akin to shadow work when that stuff comes up. It's a way of fast release and powerful release. So great. I'm glad you're getting through it. And ideally, you'll get to a point where it will be enjoyable. Anyone else? Hi, yeah.
Hi. I have been away this week for a couple of days this week, so I haven't done as much of it as I had hoped I would have done. It's quite hard. I find it quite hard. So I can do all the breath, but I find once I get into the 3-part breath, there's a point at which I always seem to lose it, and I have to sort of wake up to it again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's a very strong process of embodiment, and I find that, I mean, I don't know if it's synchronous or whether it's related, but around the time when I have done the breath work, I find that things come up just naturally, randomly afterwards.
Yes,
It's a little
randomly, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a bit surprising sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you brought that up because like any transformational work, what you're working on is going to show up in your life. And it always seems as if it's random or that would have happened anyway, or something like that, but it's that you're the source of it. So when you're clearing something, when you're letting some old trauma go, it's almost like there are these tests, these trigger tests, like, are you sure you're ready to let that go? And we get the opportunity to work through it on whatever level we need to in order to have that breakthrough. So, and that is transformational work. That's how it shows up, and at on multiple levels. So the breath work can certainly instigate that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes, I would say the level has been profoundly intense. Yeah.
Yeah, I would invite you to have a way of being that is surrender in the breath work. So what I mean is allowing yourself, there is usually a point where I say, let the breath breathe you.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, it's where you sort of let go of the control of it. This is difficult for people who are kind of a controlling type of personality, who like to, or even an analyzing personality, who like to get it right, who like to do it exactly the way it's designed, who like to, make sure everything's perfect. If you have some perfectionism, it can be a challenge to sort of just give it up, give up that way of being and allow yourself to fall into the experience of having the breath just move through you. And the physicality of it, the way that the breath is being breathed becomes more natural and easy when you do that. I know when I first learned this breath, there were moments where like, I would come and go, I wouldn't be able to stay with it. I would like, fall in and out of it. And with practice, I got there. I got to that surrender point, and then I'm like, oh, it's like a giving up of a control mechanism, and trusting the universe, trusting the divine, trusting that you will be the way that exactly the way that you need to be is perfect in the breath. And sometimes that means going out and coming back in for a moment. That's okay. Sometimes that means just letting go of the mind, the thinking aspect of it, and trusting the body, that the body knows this now, the body can do this, and letting the body do what it does throughout the process. So I'll invite you just to practice a new level of surrender today.
Okay.
Okay. And no judgment on any of it. Whatever happens, happens. Don't worry.
I just have one other question. The email that you sent, I think it had 5 days of breath work on that initial email.
Did you sign up for the
the teaching bit,
the trainer program as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is the series. So this is the first part of that. And then if you signed, there will be 2 more for you as well, if you signed up for the trainer series. So that's just it's an add-on.
Perfect. Okay.
So for some people, this is 2 of 3. For some people, this is 2 of 5.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kat, you have your hand up.
I do. It's been interesting. I was directed to do the breath work. I think I explained this to you as my next leveling up. And yet it was very difficult for me. It's like counterintuitive breathing for me. I'm not a mouth breather. So the 3-part breath is very difficult for me. And today I was doing the slower version again. Thank you so much for doing that. And just allowing it to take the pace that my body was telling it to take. And it clicked. It just finally stopped my left brain trying to tell it how to do it. And it just flowed. So thank you. That slower pace just helped to push. Oh, there we go. So the surrender message is everywhere. But it's been kind of funny because all of my card draws and whatnot this week and last week have all also reiterated breath, 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 everything, breath, breath, breath. And I'm like, all right, I hear you. I'm doing it. So it's kind of interesting how all of that does get very synchronous in its affirmation. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I am enjoying it, even if it's difficult.
Wonderful. Oh, the breakthrough. Yay. So yes. And that is for many people, there's that point of breakthrough where suddenly you relax into it. You allow, like Kat said, you surrender, however you want to perceive that moment, where it's just this, like, it's kind of like, oh, what the heck, if, I'm just going to let it be what it is. And that's when it's kind of like, oh, okay, it doesn't have to be difficult. So wonderful. I'm so glad you got there. And today we'll have a lot of faster pace. I invite you, if you choose to go slower, if you want to slow it down to half, if I'm saying in and out, maybe you want to slow it down to the half the amount of breaths. You can do that. If that's what works for you, you can, I use the music to guide the breath with the rhythm, but you do not have to follow that. That's just there to guide you. So whatever works for you is fine. And if you want to do this unguided, or with your own music at home, that works too. It's really, this is about just having you get to that point of like, oh, this is how it works. So yay, that's very encouraging. And today we have longer segments of the 3-part breath, 9 to 10 minutes each segment. So it's a little longer. And I will tell you, when I first learned this breath, I went into a breathwork class. I'd never done it before. And it was an hour of this breath. So, you learn in an hour, you figure out, okay, you get there. And so just so you know, this is in some ways more gentle than that experience. And I put the other breaths in, though that was just one breath. That was just the 3-part breath throughout. And it's done slightly differently, but very similar for a long period of time. So it's, in some ways, this is, oh my God, 10 minutes, you guys can handle it. And there is that, really that desire to get you to the point of surrender and just like letting it breathe you. So I say cycling that breath, and I'll say it differently to hopefully help trigger that release for you, or trigger that dropping in and surrender. So when I say cycling the breath, I've had people say, it was that moment when you said cycling the breath that I got it. Didgeridoo players, they have this way of cycling breath. And it's for me, it feels like a very awkward thing to do. But when they learn it, they cycle the breath in a certain way. And really, it's a technique to drop into. Another way of thinking it, I'll say, think of a figure 8. Sometimes when I'm doing the breath work, I will see this golden figure 8, like in and out. And it's this connection to infinity. It's the infinity, the infinite breath. And when I see that, it helps me drop in. So I invite you all to practice and play with it today and kind of see just what works for you. This is I guide it in a certain way, but it doesn't mean that it's rigid or that there's only this way to do it. You'll come up with your own style, your own way of practicing it. And, sometimes that means playing around, like slowing it down, or, visualizing something, or dropping in a way that you get yourself out of your head and into your heart and into your body. And this is like, someone mentioned earlier, an embodiment practice. This type of breath work, it's really calling yourself in and focusing into the physical. So much of spiritual practice is meditation and, going out almost. I mean, we're always going in, but it's like the expansion out of the body in some ways. So this is a deep practice of bringing the embodiment in through the breath, bringing our divinity in through the breath, and using the body as a tool. And it's about befriending the body and, becoming collaborative with the body. So anybody who has issues with their body or a disconnect from the body, you get in sync with your body through this breath. And it's very powerful to do that. And when you have a regular practice of that, you get to ascend the frequency of your body, raise the frequency of the body. And that's ultimately the point of this, to clear out old stuff, to allow more light in, and to raise the frequency and be embodied. So again, some of the traits, I talk about ways of being a lot in this breath work, is to be curious, to just explore, to play, to feel, to have the experience you're having, and allow yourself to just be with whatever shows up. If there are memories that come up that are like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought of that in 20 years or more, then that's coming up to there's something to let go of there. So just breathe it out, just breathe through it and continue. There's this opportunity to just let go. And again, that's also a surrender, not to get stuck in the thoughts, not to get stuck in the ideas that we're clearing. So ultimately, curiosity, tenacity, keep going. If you stop, if you drift off, to come back, call yourself back, keep going and keep practicing. Have patience with yourself whatever you're up to in the breath work, it's good. And keep just affirming, this is good, this is helpful for me. And just be patient with yourself and let yourself have the experience. Don't judge it. Whatever you're experiencing is perfect. And then ultimately the surrender. And then finally, the one more thing I want to comment on before we jump in the Kundalini breath, I talk about the torus field. I haven't gone into that deeply, other than I just want to share what that means, what that's about. So the field of energy that comes out around us, it's actually really big. We have this torus field around us, out through the crown of the head, around our bodies, and in through the base of the spine. This is the energy that holds our frequency. It's the energy of, it's the law of attraction. You know, it's what we're attracting is being attracted through this field around our bodies. So when we raise the frequency of the torus field around us, then the entire world as we're experiencing it, as we're perceiving it, changes to align to the frequency of what we're cycling, of what that torus field is putting out in frequency. So we become this magnetic, attractive match to the frequency that we're putting out. And that is a very powerful thing to understand and to work on. Just knowing that your frequency is attracting your life, every experience. So Joe, I think it was you mentioned things were showing up sort of synchronistically or seemingly randomly, but synchronistically with the breath work. You know, your field is changing. You're clearing out old patterns. You're clearing out stuck energy. So if that's still lingering in your field, then you're going to attract whatever matches that. It sounds esoteric, but it's actually just the way it works. Someday it will be hard science when we get to that point, when we get there. But energetically, it is scientific that, oh, hi, kitty, that we attract what matches the frequency that we're putting out. And we attract the experiences that help us grow and that help us let go of whatever it is that we're attempting to let go of, at least releasing in the breath work. So if you aren't done with it yet, if you've brought something up, but you didn't quite get it out, you're going to attract an experience or a person or something to help you work through the final elements of that. It's an opportunity. Just view everything that comes up after breath work, and actually every moment of your life, as an opportunity. Sometimes it doesn't show up in the way that we would like to have it show up. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. It's funny, I didn't expect to go here, but if anybody saw my Tuesday tips this morning, I went into this at the end, where the entire world is always giving us an opportunity to grow, to expand, to overcome whatever it is that we're working through. And that's personally and collectively, and as a human community. So all of these things that are showing up are our opportunity to move through some big shadow work and then move into an ascended frequency, and then be able to attract that we want, that we desire to experience, the higher frequency stuff and more and better. So, oh yay, Heidi made it. So this is that's all I've got for lecture, because it is a 40-minute or 38-minute class today. So I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to do that. And then I'll stay on for questions afterward. So any burning questions before we get started? Or clarifications? Okay, great. So this time I'm not going to be on video. I wasn't able to move out of my office today. So I will turn the video on for the Kundalini breath part, but I won't be for the rest. You wouldn't be able to see me anyway. And I invite you, I'll have the chat open. If there's any trouble hearing or any breakdowns there, let me know in the chat. But otherwise, just be ready get ready to lie down. You will also, at the end, you'll have a place to sit. And if you need to take a drink of water before you begin, now is the perfect time for that. And we will begin. And enjoy the breath, everyone. Lying down, tune into your heart and the presence in your heart. And bring your intention for your session today into your heart center. And breathe into your intention, bringing light, the golden light of your I am presence into the heart, surrounding your intention and fortifying you, expanding your energy, and breathing deeply into the belly. Begin the heart breath. You're breathing deeply, expanding the belly on the inhale, contracting the belly on the exhale, and informing each breath with the light, the intention, and the love of your heart. Every inhale is coming in through love, and every exhale is being let go with love. Deepening into yourself, feeling where you are, present in your body, just being and feeling and allowing. Inhaling deeply into the belly and exhaling any tension, letting go of anything that happened previously today, letting go of all thoughts and just being here now in your body, ready to do this amazing breath work to upgrade your energy, to expand your ability to hold light, to bring more awareness and clarity and openness to your being, and to ascend your energy. Breathing in through the heart and exhaling in the golden light, the divine presence embracing you and cherishing you and holding you and protecting you throughout this breath work today. We're preparing for the 3-part breath. Remember, 2 in through the mouth, 1 out through the nose. In, out, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out. Yes. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Yes. Keep breathing. You are filling yourself with light, upgrading, expanding. High heart and high mind, opening up to receive. In, out. In, out. And you can think of it like sucking your breath in through a straw on the inhale and blowing it out quickly on the exhale. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out. In, out. Loving yourself through this breath. Keep breathing. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding. Belly is contracting. The shoulders aren't moving on this breath, just the belly. In, out. Good. In, out. On every inhale, you are filling with more light, more sparkling, crystalline light energy, the golden light surrounding you. This is fun. Change of music. Keep breathing. In, out. A little faster here. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out. In, out. Surrender to the breath. Don't resist it. Let the breath breathe you. Let the breath move you and fill you. Just surrender to it. Go with what you're feeling. In, out. Keep breathing. It's a little funky here. In, out. In, out. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In, out. In, out. Have fun with it. Let yourself play with the breath. In, out. You're doing great. Keep going. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding. Belly is contracting. You got it. Dancing with the breath. Keep breathing. In and out. Little reggae always makes it more fun. In and out, in and out, in through the mouth, out through the nose. In and out, yes. Keep going. Let your heart play in this breath. Feel the energy, whatever you're feeling. It's okay, it's perfect. In and out. Yeah, keep breathing. Expanding the light, expanding the joy, expanding the passion. In and out. Yes. This is you dancing with the divine. The breath is your sacred inhalation of divine light, allowing it to upgrade you from the inside out. Every breath is filled with liquid, crystal, plasmic, creative energy, allowing yourself to receive it. In and out, in and out, in through the mouth, out through the nose. In and out, good. Keep breathing, keep enjoying it, playing in the breath, surrendering in the breath, letting the breath breathe you. In and out. Feel what you're feeling. Keep breathing. You're doing great. In and out. Yes. Keep going. Music's changing. Keep breathing. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In and out. In and out. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. Your shoulders are not moving, just your belly. In, out. Yes. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In and out. Stay with it. Think of a figure 8 cycling through the breath. Golden infinity sign. The infinity of breath, of inspiration, of creativity. Yes, let it upgrade you. Play with it. Dance with it. Keep breathing. In, out. In, out. Keep breathing. Good. Okay, beautiful. Now return your breath to normal. And we're going to prepare for the breath holds. The first hold will be holding the inhale breath. So go ahead and take a deep exhale first, releasing all the air. And then take a deep inhale and hold. I'm going to time you for 1 minute. I'm sure it'll be easy at this point, but if you need to take a second breath, that's okay. absorbing all of that beautiful oxygen that you just inhaled. Letting yourself expand. Just 20 more seconds to hold. You're doing great. Five more seconds. Okay, go ahead and release that breath. Good job. Okay, and our next hold will be holding the exhale breath. So just prepare for that by taking a deep inhale. And don't do it yet, but when you exhale, you're not going to exhale all the air out. You're just going to hold to the comfortable point. So here we go. Deep inhale. And now hold that exhale. You're doing great. Just hold for as long as you can. It's okay if you need to take a second breath. Nobody's judging you here. This is all for you. 30 seconds. Good work. Keep holding if you can. 20 more seconds. Doing great. Just 10 more seconds now. So close. Okay, go ahead and release. Well done. Good job. Just return your breath to normal for a moment, appreciating yourself, tuning into your heart, preparing for the next round of 3-part breath. Here we go. Remember, 2 in through the mouth, 1 out through the nose. You're expanding the belly on the inhale, contracting the belly on the exhale. Your shoulders aren't moving, just your belly. Getting ready. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Ready to expand into this breath? In and out. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. In and out, in and out. Yes, you got it. In and out. Letting that breath fill you up with golden light. So beautiful to expand in this breath work, expanding your capacity to hold more light and more energy, expanding your heart energy, expanding the golden light around you. You are so loved and cherished. Keep breathing. In and out. In and out. letting the breath breathe you. It's like floating. Keep breathing. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In and out. In and out. Yes. Cherishing the breath, feeling the universe loving and appreciating you with every breath. In and out, in and out. Keep breathing. Might be starting to feel that tingly sensation. It's okay. You're feeling some tightness in your hands or your feet, any other part of your body, that's okay too. You get to keep breathing, have fun with it, play with it, dance with the breath, let the breath dance with you. In and out, in and out, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale, belly is contracting on the exhale. In and out. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. In and out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Golden light is surrounding you, holding space for you. In and out. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Yes, you got this. Keep breathing. Dancing with the breath. Feeling yourself becoming more and more inspired. In and out. In and out, in and out, in through the mouth, out through the nose. In and out, good. In and out. Belly is expanding, belly is contracting. You are expanding your ability to hold higher frequencies, your ability to be light. In and out, good. Keep going, letting yourself feel whatever's coming up. No judgment. It's all good. In and out. In and out. Keep breathing. In and out. In and out. Yes. Keep breathing. Keep loving yourself.
cycling that breath, like sucking air in through a straw. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Stay with it. You've got it. In, out. In, out. Good. In through the mouth, out through the nose. In, out. In, out. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Belly is expanding on the inhale. Belly is contracting on the exhale. Letting the breath breathe you. Feel what you're feeling. Keep going. Just keep taking that next breath. Surrender to the breath. Whatever is coming up to be released, let it go. You are clearing mountains of old, stagnant energy, letting that out, giving it to the universe to be transformed, alchemized, transmuted into diamond light. In, out, in, out, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Yes, keep breathing. Keep going. Keep breathing in through the mouth, out through the nose. Feeling the expansion. I know you're feeling it by now. In, out. Breathing with the music. This is a dance with the divine light. An invitation to the light to fill you. Yes, beautiful. And now just breathing normally for a moment as we prepare for our next breath holds. And this is where you get to sit up. So go ahead and get yourself to a seated position and prepare to hold the inhale breath. Okay, here we go. So deep exhale, inhale and hold. Just letting yourself absorb the divine light, receiving, expanding, and expanding your ability to hold it. Are a container of divine energy. Very good. Just 20 more seconds to hold. Doing great. Remember, if you need to, you can always take that second breath almost there. Okay, go ahead and release that breath. Beautiful. Well done. And now it's time to prepare to hold the exhale breath. So take an inhale, a deep inhale, and now release it just to the most comfortable point and hold at that point. Holding the exhale breath for 1 minute if you can. It's okay. If you can't hold that long, don't worry. You can take a second breath. Feels good to hold this breath in stillness, absorbing, just being present. "25 seconds to go." "10 more seconds, you're almost there." Okay, go ahead and release that breath. And now we'll prepare for the Kundalini breath. Just to remind you of the Kundalini breath, you're going to be taking a deep inhale into the base of the spine. You will hold and squeeze the muscles at the base of the spine, and then we're going to bring and flow that energy up the spine to the top of the head and out the crown and around the body in a torus field. Okay, here we go. Deep inhale now into the base of the spine, holding and squeezing the muscles at the base of the spine. It's time to flow that energy up through the spine, up through each chakra. Up it goes, all the way up to the crown of the head. And now out the top of the crown in a deep exhale and release, and imagine that torus field of light coming around and entering back in at the base of the spine, creating a field of energy around your body. Breathe into that and feel it, and get ready. Here we go again. Take a deep inhale now into the base of the spine and hold and squeeze the muscles at the base of the spine. Flow that energy up the spine through each energy center, slowly going up the spine, up and up, all the way up to the crown of the head. And now release out the crown and imagine that light going around and entering back in at the base of the spine. You are becoming magnetically attractive to all that you desire, raising your frequency, attracting more beautiful, wonderful experiences and people into your life. Here we go. We're going to do it again. Deep inhale into the base of the spine. Hold and squeeze those muscles, the base of the spine, flowing the energy up the spine, up through each chakra. Up. Here we go. Yes. Flowing it up. Holding and squeezing as that energy flows up the spine. Continuing up all the way to the top. And release. Very good. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. Give it your all. Put your heart into it. Here we go. Deep inhale into the base of the spine. Hold and squeeze those muscles at the base of the spine, bringing that energy up through the first center, through the second center, up the spine through every chakra, the third center, up into the fourth, the heart center, up through the throat, and up into the pineal, and all the way to the crown of the head. And release. in the torus field around your body. Yes, so beautiful. And now it's time to just relax and rest. If you'd like to lie down in Shavasana, just lying on the floor, this is the time you can do that. This is a time of appreciating yourself for the beautiful work that you've done here today. Feel into your heart center now, your beautiful, loving, compassionate heart, and feel your heart connected to the divine, to the ascension guides who are assisting you on your path. Feel the love and appreciation they are giving you. They are so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And you get to be proud of you. And feel your heart connected to every other person who's doing this breath now and in the future. We are a community of light, ascending together, raising the frequency of ourselves, our bodies, our families, and our communities. We are raising the frequency of our global community as a family of light. Thank you for being a part of this gorgeous Ascension family. I love you. I cherish you. And I appreciate you. Feel that. You are beautiful. Namaste.
Okay, come on back. As you're ready, you might want to grab a drink of water and get yourself back to present. And so now I would love to open up for any kind of, if you want to share an experience, a breakthrough, a breakdown, anything you experienced, or if you have a question or anything that you'd like a little more clarification on, now is the time. Or if you just want to share, that's fine too. So I'll open it up. Who would like to speak?
Hey, Waxela, can you hear me?
Hey, Heidi. Yep, I can hear you perfectly.
I have some headphones on. Actually, I'm going to take. Is that okay?
Yep, can still hear you.
Great. Right when you said something about diamond light or something, I had this sensation. My entire body was lit up with, and I was like, "This is like diamonds inside." You're like diamonds. I was like, "Yeah." It was really fun, but that was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Waxela.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I love that. So you felt the diamonds first, or
Yeah, right before you said it, I was like, oh my God, that's totally like diamonds. Like I always think of light and rainbows and stuff like that. And this is kind of the first time I put those two together and I was like, oh, diamonds.
Well, I love that you said that, because one of the things I teach in Ascension training is the diamond light of the heart. It is actually a frequency, and it's also an activation of the diamond light of the heart. So I believe that this breath work opens that up and sort of activates that. So that diamond light it's both a portal, it's a frequency, it's a realm. So you were already entering in, and that frequency was there, which is, why I said it out loud.
Right. I know. And I was like in the sunlight doing it outside. It was so amazing. Like every time I do your breath work, I just light up more and more and more on the inside. It just gets more intense. And like I love that because it's been more subtle each time. It's not like, like too intense. Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sensitive. And yeah, I just like push myself right to the edge too of like, oh, it's pretty intense with Shayla. But I love it. And the other thing I was going to say too, I just got done with my Kundalini teacher training, and you guys, within 3 months of teacher training with Kundalini, which was spectacular, I have not been able to get my body to feel like this, what Shayla can do in 38 minutes. I mean, I honestly, with Shayla, like, I want to sign up for your teacher training because I think like merging the two is like profound. This is like hacking Kundalini yoga, which is hacking energy. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like it's all building on on each other, and it is just so awesome. So thank you for bringing this to our lives, for real.
Hmm. Thank you. I love that.
Yep.
Yes, definitely. You'd be great at teaching this. So
Awesome.
share. It's
Yep.
meant to be out in the world now. Yeah. And I also feel like this type of practice, it's like my philosophy is the mystery schools and, these types of practices used to be reserved for the very few. And now that there's more light on the planet, there's more energy, there are people waking up, the frequency is raising, and it's our time to really step through that portal as a human community. It's not the time to hold these trainings back anymore. So it's our opportunity to share with many, many more and connect. And as we do that, the more people that are doing, not just this practice and not just Kundalini yoga, but all of the ascension practices, we get to connect as a global community and raise the frequency. And this is how we step into the new earth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll let someone else talk.
Right. Who else would like to share? Stacy, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to clarify my intense experience because it's just consistent. Like I basically just shake and I need to like moan / screamish. That I guess that like I'm just learning now. Oh, maybe you just weren't able to do that for a while and it's coming up now because I know I'm not forcing it. So I don't know. I guess is that not normal, but it's a thing, right? Like
Yeah, it's a thing. We can just say it's a thing. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I would just say celebrate that. It's your opportunity to clear whatever is coming up. It's the shaking is actually quite common in breath work. Also like the rigidness, which is that, like when your hands got tight,
Mhm.
tetany, it's called. It's a clearing, it's a release. When you're making noise, just let it go, let it come up, surrender, let your body do what it wants to do. Sometimes it's resistance, sometimes it's clearing resistance. So it's just kind of letting it go. As long as you come back, and if you lose your place, that's fine. Just come back when you can and let that stuff out. It's a powerful release. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is that trauma release, the shaking?
It can be. It absolutely can be. The body stores thoughts, feelings, emotions, traumas in various ways, which, the thoughts become densified and our bodies harbor them in, all different places in all different ways. It's like thoughts and experiences, emotional experiences that aren't cleared at the time. They become, and completely subconsciously to us in most cases, they become like this energetic thing. And then that gets densified in the body, which can result in disease in the body. So yes, the shaking can sometimes mean it's almost like you're shaking up, like you're breaking up that that density, and it is energetic, but physicality is energy. The physical is also energetic. So it's breaking up and then it's coming out. And I'm not going to say every time you're shaking, that's what it is, but yes, that absolutely can be what's going on.
So would it be helpful to do trauma release practice before, alongside breath work, or separate from breath work?
You certainly could. If you're called to, I would invite you to be curious and experiment with that. One of the great things about breath work is that, it does allow for trauma release. Sometimes it's very subconscious, and sometimes the traumas that we're holding are from lineage or from, past lifetimes, where we don't necessarily need to remember through our mind what happened.
Sure, yeah.
It's a pattern. These are all energetic patterns, like sacred geometry, patterns of information stored in the body and sometimes densified in the body. So as we break that up, the patterns are changing. And as our patterns are changing, our experience of life changes and our physicality changes. So it clears, on so many levels, mind, body, spirit. So for you, if you do have trauma that you're aware of, that you desire to clear, absolutely. Maybe some tapping ahead of time, maybe some, they're all different types of trauma release techniques. Do the one you do, and then go into the breath work. And I'd love to hear a report back on if you try that, how it goes for you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll incorporate trauma release tapping or something into a breathwork class at some point and see how that goes.
Okay, sounds interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
Waxela, I have a quick question. Do you practice this every day? Like, is this something that you take a morning practice, or would you recommend everybody to practice a shorter version, or once a week, or maybe just fine?
I go through periods where I do it daily, and then I really am intuitive with it. What does my body need today? What, I'm not so rigid in my practice anymore. There was a time where I was. I kind of ebb and flow. So I always recommend checking in with yourself before you start a practice. Like, what does my body need? What can I commit to? It does help to say, all right, I'm going to do this 3 days a week. These are the days, and have it in your calendar, because if it's scheduled, you'll do it. If it's not, you probably will skip, because that's life and that's what we do. But there isn't a hard and fast rule. This is how many times a week. I don't really believe in that. I think it depends also on what else are you doing. Are you doing a meditation? Are you doing, other types of transformational work? What is your practice? Are you doing yoga? And maybe you go yoga one day, meditation the next day, breath work the next day as the focus, and then, shorter versions of the others, or whatever that is for you. I think it's each of us gets to decide what our practice is. And it is helpful for a period of time to do it daily, or to at least do it regularly, 3 to 5 times a week, as you're learning, because you're teaching the body about the breath and learning the breath. But then as time goes on, just make the choice that's right for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Other questions or anything you want to share or contribute? I did have some people wrote in the chat. Let's see here.
Hi, Shayla. It's April.
Hi, April. Go ahead.
This time it was like really intense where I was just feeling a lot of anger during the breath. And it was just like so irritated and a lot of anger. And yesterday I got into it with my ex-husband. We were going back and forth, and I was just holding on to that. I felt it, like all of that feeling come up from what happened yesterday. And after, got done, and just right now, he was texting me, and I was just totally took a different approach. It just helped release all of it. Went back to him in a different, with different perspective of just like, can we cooperate, kind of not meeting his hostility. Like yesterday, I was just in a spin, and I think it was just starting to get lodged in the body. So this was really good timing for me to kind of just release it. Yeah.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. And this is perfect for that. And I actually have had breathwork clients say they will go into breathwork after an interaction like that, sometimes to help clear it quickly, because we don't want to hang on to that and let it hang out in our field and let it, get densified. So I love that you brought that up. It is a great way to clear an unpleasant interaction, or if something's bothering us, it's a way to just let it go quickly, clear it out, and change the way you're being with him. I love that you just changed your way of being, which inevitably will change the way you perceive him. And that will probably also change his way of being. But you can't change other people. You could always change yourself, and then they will respond to that change. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, any final words before we sign off?
Well, Shayla, would you recommend April pair that with the Ho'oponopono prayer? Like pair the breath work with that?
I mean, April has a lot of tools, so I'm sure she knows what to do. That's one good one. There are lots of different things. So, and she's an acupuncturist and shaman and all kinds of this stuff. So I know she has all the tools she needs. But I think the point there is that breath work can clear things so fast, and at least, even if it's not gone after the breath work, it's like, oh, I've created space. Now I can see what's going on. So I can take committed action to do the steps I need to do to have my life work, or this relationship work, or whatever that is.
Hey, Shayla, real quick, before we go, I keep seeing the same faces on the call every week, and I don't know where people are from. Did you do an introduction at all with I know there's a small group here. Would it be?
If you guys want to, we only have a few people left since we're at the end of our time, but that's fine.
Just thought to introduce ourselves and be like, hey, I'm from here, whatever. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hey guys, I'm Heidi, and I'm actually known as Tomorrow as well. And I'm part of Primal Hacker, and Thaddeus is my husband. We run like a biohacking business in Hudson, Wisconsin. And we get a lot of sunshine in the summertime because we have to bank up for the winter. So that's why you kind of see me in this situation. So I'm banking up my vitamin D for the winter because we get a pretty long winter up here. So, and I've been following with Shayla for over a year, and part of her soul family immediately when we met her. So big fans, and we do retreats together. So yeah.
Yes, I love banking it up. You could do breath work in bikinis.
That's right. Passing the talking stick.
Go. I'm Stacy. I think I live outside Philadelphia, but I'm in Connecticut now, house sitting, which is nice because I can do all the screaming I want without, But and I don't know. I think that's kind of it for now. I'm transitioning jobs. and careers and stuff right now. So I don't have TBD on that, but nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Jo. I live in Cambridge in the UK, and I've been following Waxela's work for about a year, maybe. Just checking in with podcasts and all that kind of thing. And I do voluntary work at the moment. I've got 4 kids, dog, cat, garden allotment. Yeah, I work in a yoga studio.
Great. All right. And that's it now. Everybody else popped off. I guess they're shy. Thanks, you guys. We'll resume next week, and feel free to, email me or message me with anything that comes up if you have any questions that you didn't think of right now.
Can I just ask one thing? Should we do the second week breathwork practice this week, the longer one?
Oh yeah, if you want to. I mean, you can do it on your own schedule. Heidi, I think you did the same one for months, or
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to remember what we did because we did
beginning.
We did a week of each step up, or
Did
maybe
you? Okay.
maybe it was more than that. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. Well, point being, if you want to, you can. If you're not ready to, that's okay too. Each one of those gets a little longer. The segments go up by, a minute or 2, or maybe 4, a few minutes every time. So by the end, there's a full half hour of the 3-part breath. The shamanic part. So and I'm doing the same with this series. Like today we had 20 minutes of it because each segment was around 10 minutes. And so if you're ready to, really just check in with yourself. Am I ready to do the next one? And then it's not set in stone. You can go back and do the second week after you've done the 5th week. You can jump around if you want to. So play it by ear. I mean, I think it's a good rule of thumb to give it a week per session, but you can play.
Yeah, great. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. See you next week. Yeah.
Have fun.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye.